past few years, collective research has debunked the popular myths that a high-fiber diet lifestyle can cause unfinished housework, late dinners, and neglected family members. In fact, continuing studies show that a high-fiber diet lifestyle may significantly improve the disposition of a crafter, creating a more contented home life. Furthermore, continued exposure can develop an ability to endure meetings, waiting rooms, school functions, and sporting events without experiencing the kind of boredom it makes one want to consume lead paint. Here are just a few ways one can properly increase daily fiber intake. Visit your local yard store or shop online. Join online fiber communities. Tour sheep or alpaca farms. Attend fiber festivals. Or listen to the High Fiber Diet podcast. Please remember to spread your fiber intake throughout the day rather than trying to get it all in one shot. Stretching and resting is important, and your body will thank you.
Hi, I'm Kagi. Welcome to the High Fiber Diet podcast. It's July 4th, the 250th of our nation, and to me it's a special day. As you can see behind me, I've got papers from the foundings, and it's very much we're a patriotic family, and yeah, I'm wearing it. I have it right behind me. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. I did that earlier this year. And yeah, welcome to the podcast. I haven't had a whole ton of knitting and crocheting time, but I've had some. And so I'll bring you along on my journey. First things first, what I finished. I finished the basil socks. These are done in Cascade Heritage. It is their DK weight. And I did the basil socks in order to get them to do correctly with the number of stitches that I had. I had to add an extra stitch down the side. I did have a ball that just, no, Cupid, you can't steal that. It's the beginning, right? So I have this much left over, so I'll be able to do heels and toes. I call this the mango colorway, but I do like the way this knit up. It does have the heel flap and gusset. I want to say it was a free pattern on Ravelry. I don't know, I just grabbed it. It's one I've had in my stash for a while, so I grabbed it and I really like it. And these are for me. So yeah. One looks taller than the other. It's been tried on more. I haven't blocked either one. They have the exact same number of stitches and same size needles, which I did these on size 3, and I did them magic loop. I'm not a huge magic looper, but I did these on magic loop because it worked out for the pattern instead of having the double pointed needles with stitches in between, and that sometimes is a pain. So these are on my Hornshaw Woodworks sock blockers. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you more about these, but I really like them. I started them a while ago, just got them finished up this week, and they'll go into rotation coming this fall. So since we're on finished objects, and this is one that has been finished for a while, this is the striped bouquet, and it is done in a Chick That Knits patriotic colorway. I did do 13 stripes and the lace edging, and she now has the kits back up, I saw this morning, and so I posted it on both Instagram and Ravelry. Of course, it's too warm to wear that today. We're in the hundreds. But you just heard the AC kick on. Yeah, I'm not turning it off, sorry. I do like the way it came out. I wore it earlier this year when it was cool enough. I got compliments on it, and I will continue wearing it because it's my kind of fashion that goes, not with everything, but with some things. And it's the type of thing that I get a charge out of wearing. So again, it's the striped bouquet. I forget who the pattern is by, but it comes with the kit of the yarn. There's Twinkle Twinkle, I forget what the red is, and then the white is just a pearl. So no sparkle, no nothing, just wherever the color changes in the Twinkle Twinkle is where you change to a different stitch, and the Twinkle Twinkle does have sparkle, but no sparkle in the stripes. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's very light. So that was a past finished object, but I figured for today, go ahead and talk about it. What's been on my needles and hooks? In my knitting because murder is wrong bag, I have a test knit that I am working on, and this is Blossom Buds and Blossom, Blossom and Buds. And it's been published in the 52 Weeks of Chunky Knits, and she is redoing the pattern to come out as a self-published now that she's getting the rights back, the designer. And so she wanted some people to test knit, and I'm doing one of the larger sizes. I am doing this up in an ochre, no, it's not ochre, I called it wrong, it's goldenrod. Yes, goldenrod in Southlander, New Zealand high country wool. And this is a 200 gram ball, bulky 12 ply, and 100% non-superwash. I have 6 skeins. I'm sure I'll have enough for this sweater. The swatch I did come out where it fits exactly the pattern. And if I have to rip this back, I have it. I am currently working on size 10.5, or my old eyes will show me that is a 6.5 millimeter. I also have a size 10 for the ribbing. Yeah, that's basically where I am with that. And it is a pattern that I have to sit down and really concentrate on. So I've only done one repeat this week because this week has been really busy with doing other things. So I have until mid-August to get it done, and as it's a bulky weight sweater, I'm not seeing that that's going to be a problem, but fingers crossed. Another item I have been slowly working on in my red, white, and blue bag. I am doing I think it's called Stars and Stripes blanket. It's a Crochet Granny. And so I have started with the red and moved on to the white, back to the red. I am doing this out of Bernay Super Saver. And I have also knit up, or crocheted up, sorry, one of the hexagons for the stars, which are actually little flowers, and it's cute how these come out. And let's see, I think I showed a picture last episode, so I think I have it in my system here. Let me go into my note shelf. That's the program that I use for all my PDFs. And if I go to blankets, yep, this is called the All-American Afghan. I was incorrect. And that is what it's going to end up looking like. I don't expect it done right now. On the knitting and crochet part, I was also working in my patriotic flag bag on a cherry blossoms and bees sock that I got in my head that I wanted to do. And I was looking through stitch books and I have a couple of them. This one is the Japanese Stitches Unraveled, and this one is 750 knitting stitches. And I found this pattern that I really liked called Cherry Blossoms, and I wanted to try it out. And I don't know if it's this yarn. This is really nice yarn. It is from Sweet Mountain Stitchery. Her fibers, this was part of her old sock club, and I got it in DK weight. And I believe this was mulled wine and chocolate. This is the mulled wine. But I think in the color pattern, it's just not the right pattern for it. Now I have this Cherry Blossoms, let's see if you can see it, right here. And then right below it is a pattern called Bees. And like I said, I think it's just too much for this tonal of yarn, but it's a nice way to get it through. I've just done a heel flapping gusset, and I'm going to continue on down. I think in the second one, instead of doing Bees, Cherry Blossom, Bees, I'm going to do Cherry Blossom, Bees, Cherry Blossoms, and see how that works out. And then I will find a softer pink for the Cherry Blossoms, maybe with some Flexi Yellow for the Bees. I have some of those yarns out there. And I will start this. Again, this is on, I'm doing Magic Loop. I was out and about. I had the yarn and the needles with me, and I just decided to cast on. Both of these are 6-stitch repeats, and I will not be continuing the repeat down the sock for this. I am designing it, you know, sort of collaborating with a stitch book. And I do like the way the pattern comes out. I just don't think the yarn is the right yarn for this pattern. So I'm going to try it with more of a plain or soft tonal, light colored yarn. But these are on size 3 needles. It is DK weight, and that's where I am on that. It's just been going when I'm out and about. We were watching, what were we watching? And I needed something that was more mindless, and that's why I turned the heel. Revolution, I think it's by Hillsdale College on YouTube. They have, I think it's a 2-hour movie and documentary type that was all about the revolution, and it was really good. So the background noise though, I don't like music with talking over it. It's something that my brain doesn't play well with. And the more I look into ADHD and the things that are good and the things that are bad, that's one of the things that are bad. So I've been told I don't have ADHD, but I think I have tendencies, or I mask it well. I don't know. I am not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV. So my final thing that I have been working on, I have other knits over here, I just haven't touched them. But my sister, my niece, my grandniece is getting married in August, and she sent me a photo and said, I bought this dress, and it is striped ombre with golds and sand colors, and then beachy marine colors, the greens, the blues of the ocean. And I'm like, okay, you're grandma of the bride, and and she goes, I need something to go with it. And I'm like, well, do you want a bolero? Do you want a cardigan, or do you want a shawl? And we finally settled on a shawl. And the shawl that we settled on is a crocheted shawl. And of course it's not right there where I need it, right? my system decided to put everything in alphabetical order. And that's great for everything except when I want to grab what I just did last. So I'm going to go into my files because I know that's in recent order. Here we go. Floral Drift. And that is the shawl I'm going to be making. But because hers is striped, and we went through my yarn and decided on what colors, and we had a whole bunch to check from because marine blues are something I wear a lot, but she had some yellow in there, and we were like, so I pulled out the Rugrats because I remember this little one loving Rugrats. She's not so little anymore. She's 20. Yeah. So this is Mittens, and Kelly dyed this up for me for a Knittin' in the Mitten. I want to say it was 2017, maybe. Might have been 2016. But I decided to start, and instead of doing the solid top like the Floral Drift has, because I have to change things, this top portion is where you start. You cast on the long edge or chain on. I decided, because I only have one skein of that, to do it in a filet eyelet. And I really like the way it's coming out. I'm using a 3.75 F hook, and the length is going to be plenty long enough. This does have a bit of sparkle in it. Not sure if you can see it, but that will be the blues and the greens of her dress. Not matchy-matchy, but, and then I will slowly blend in. This is a lace weight, and I think I'm gonna hold it double because I have 400 and something yards of this, and then I have 800 yards of this. And right before the last rows, before the lace portion in the pattern, I'm going to blend in this skein. And this is an alpaca silk that was dyed up in Colorado and I bought in South Dakota. And this goes more with the tans and the yellows of the dress. And she's not really keen on having the yellow next to her face. My sister is more olive tone than I am, where I can get away with wearing some yellow. She really can't. But having it away from her face, down some, I think when I blend the two colors together and I pull it as a double, it will be tonal in the browns instead of more of the yellows. And so these will go together as the sands and the sunlight and the beach. And so I know they're getting married in northern Washington State, but I don't know where. I don't know if they're going to be by the water or not. And so that is the other thing I have been working on. I do have one other thing, and let me pause here because I forgot to bring it over. Okay, that was just a blink of the eye for you. But about, oh my gosh, 50 years ago? How do you like that? My mother made a wall hanging. It was during 1976, and we were celebrating the bicentennial, and she made this wall hanging. I don't think she got it done until like 78 or 79. I remember living in a different house than what we were in 76. But this wall hanging is this one. And it says, "Men must be governed by God or they will be ruled by tyrants." And I started it. My niece got that one when my mom passed, and eventually my dad passed and the house was divvied up and my niece got this, and I'm like, no, I want it. So I found it on eBay. I was looking on eBay years ago, probably 10 if not 15 years ago. I purchased this. Could have been less, but it's within the time frame of the podcast, but a long time ago. And so this is what is called crewel, and crewel is embroidery done with wool. And it's done with either a triple strand, a double strand, or a single strand. So these are all wool colors. These are all the colors that are in it. It comes with a key. This is completely out of print. I also have one that was Betsy Ross doing, I bought it at the same time, doing a flag. And I want to get to that too, but I'm learning crewel. I'm learning embroidery. I've been wanting to play with embroidery for years. And this time I just decided I'm going to jump in. And so I have put it together on a Snap Tight, and I have my little needle keeper, I think it's called. I solemnly swear a lot, and that has to do with me. But I have done some of the blue, and I know you're supposed to start in the middle. Yeah, no, I'm starting where I'm starting because this is where the easy is, and easy works for me. So I'm starting up here, and I'm slowly building, and this has to come, is it this side? No, I don't know. One of these sides goes down into the parchment a little bit, and I know I have to build up out here and things. I'm working on it. I'm trying. It's not something that's calming to me yet. I can sit down with knitting and I can get in a rhythm, and it's because I know how. And that's how it is with me with learning something. I'm more anxious, and I have to get over the perfectionist in my brain, and I have to say it's okay to suck at something new. And it's something I know you guys have heard me say before, which is I'm not always good at not being good. And I have to be okay that this may not turn out perfect, but nobody's gonna know that it isn't perfect except me. And that's the perfection of it, is when everybody else sees it. It's like this, and I know in the lace I have 5 or 6 parts that are just completely done wrong. I was watching a movie, or we were driving in the car and I skipped a stitch, or I dropped a stitch and I had to pick up, and nobody's gonna know but me because nobody looks at it that closely. Get over it. And so this is my suck at something new. It does end up being fairly large, and this will end up being framed and put on our wall if I ever finish it. So I am slowly trying to do a few stitches every day until I get used to it. And right now I can feel my shoulders right here. I get very tense when I pick this up. And I want to make sure that when I go to stitch on it, I turn these little things so that it's tight, but when I'm done, I undo it so that it's not tight. And I want to do all the little things that you're supposed to do, and I know I'm still going to have mistakes. But I'm really excited to work on something that I know my mother did, and it turned out beautifully. And these are all straight stitches. I'm not having to do any of the ornate embroidery stitches. These are running stitches, basting stitches, satin stitches, straight stitches, just stitches. So I'm going to learn on this one, and then I know in the one with Betsy Ross I have to be able to do that special knot. I don't even know what it's called, but for like stars on the flag. And yeah, I don't know how to do that yet, but I'm working on it. So I do have a needle threader that I found. I do have a second needle right here, and then I have my needle keeper for my regular, and that's what I'm going with. And so I have this going. What was the print date on this? think it has one. $1974. So this kit in itself is more than 50 years old. It's younger than me, but it's more than 50 years old. And yeah, I'm finally getting around to it. So, you know, things that wait, all in good time. It's like fine wine. So the last type of crafting that I have been doing in the last couple of weeks, Tour de Fleece just started. And so I finished up some spinning. It's still on bobbins in the room. I didn't even pull that out. But I decided today, what better way to do the 4th of July and our 250th than with our national animal, which is the bison. And so I have bison fiber. This is bison down. This is from Buffalo Gold. This is 1 ounce. Let's see if I can hold that up there a little bit longer. It wanted to fall out of my hands. This is 1 ounce, and so I haven't spun all that much. This is no colors. It does have the name Lou. I wonder if the bison's name was Lou. That would be cool, but I don't know. I believe the proprietor of Buffalo Gold is Ron, and he's fabulous to work with, and he has fiber in his store. And I am spinning this on my Hanson e-spinner, and I've only gotten a little bit. My goal for Tour de Fleece is just spin every day. Some days it'll be 5 minutes, some days it may be an hour. Just what my body wants to do, and I want to get through. I have a box of fiber that I found when cleaning out my guest room with my granddaughter this last week, and I'm like, I want to get through quite a bit of that. A lot of it was given to me, but some of it is stuff I've purchased, and it's just been sitting. I want to say that box was not opened when I moved to South Dakota. It was not open when I moved back, and it's been 3 years since I moved back. So it's been in there quite a few years to just sit there. Yeah. So talking about bison though, I did find in the clean out is I know I wanted to do a bulky winter hat for Sarge. I wanted it out of bison as a bison. And I know that the lady in South Dakota at, I think it was Knit Stitch in Rapid City, it's the yarn store. I believe I bought this there. And this is 40% bison, 60% wool, and she was writing up a pattern for a bison hat. So I'm gonna have to look and see if she ever published it. And these were all by Fall River Fibers. No, these were from Hot Springs. So I bought these in Hot Springs, and I wanna do up the pattern of the bison hat for my husband. And I have this brown, which is a 2-ply worsted. And then I have these 2 light browns. And I think the light brown with the brown, this is the bison for the color work, and this is the color for the actual hat. And I want to get this finished up for him. I bought it while we were out there. Lori came out and we went to Hot Springs in October, I want to say, and that was October of 22. And we spent a few days there and had some fun, and we went to the yarn store because it was right down the street from where we were staying, which was fortuitous because we didn't know there was a yarn store. But I want to get that started and made up for him for winter. And yeah, Other than that, I hope you're having a great 4th. I hope you're celebrating the 250th. And if you're not in the United States, I hope you're having a great Saturday. I'm going to get this up. It is a short one, this episode, but yeah, we're gonna head out, go over to our son's for fireworks later tonight. We'll have hot dogs and all the American stuff. I think we're having cowboy caviar and potato salad and all the things that you have at a grill out. And yeah, just lots of fun. So celebrate how you are, celebrate who you are, and celebrate the country. So have a great couple of weeks, and I'll see you in 10 to 14 days. Check your checkbook before starting the high fiber diet. Bye-bye.